Today, I have some huge news. Rovio is bringing the older Angry Birds games back to the App Store.
We finally brought back 2012. No, but seriously, this is actually amazing news. Rovio has finally learned what the fanbase wants, and what we wanted was the classics to be back.
Angry Birds is coming back, and my 12-year-old self is getting ready to party.
This just in. After getting several comments informing me of old Angry Birds games coming back, I decided to do my own research, and sure enough, Rovio seemed to have realized their wrongdoings.
Pretty sure you all heard the awesome news we got in the summer about how the old Angry Birds games are coming back. It was truly a happy moment for the Angry Birds community. Rovio had finally listened to us.
It's because it's affected their other games.
Rovio Classics Angry Birds, which is the Angry Birds remake that came out March 31st of 2022, has just been removed from Google Play. Hadn't even been up for a whole year and it already had been removed.
So what they're trying to do is they're trying to hide the original Rovio Classics Angry Birds as Red's First Flight in order to convince people to not play it.
Guys and gals, gamers and geeks, and chads and chadettes, we lost a real gaming classic today. Aaj mar gaya. We hope those fans continue to play Angry Birds 2, Friends, Angry Birds Journey, everything that they made. Translation. Because this one game didn't have microtransactions, and you could just buy it for 99 cents, I believe, unfortunately, that apparently was cannibalizing on their sales so hard that they ended up having to stop it.
On February 21st of this year, the official Rovio Twitter account made a tweet regarding one of their games, Rovio Classics Angry Birds. The tweet revealed some shocking news. Rovio Classics Angry Birds was going to be unlisted from the Google Play Store on Thursday, February 23rd.
As a matter of fact, let's remove Rovio Classics Angry Birds off the Google Play Store next February and rename it to Red's First Flight or something. Fair, that will work.
Hello folks, and welcome to a video that I meant to do for a while now, discussing Rovio Classics Angry Birds. This video will be a retrospective / reflection / discussion on Rovio Classics Angry Birds. And throughout this video, I will be abbreviating Rovio Classics Angry Birds as RCAB from this point on. So, let us begin. But before we actually begin, let's provide a bit of context. Rovio Classics Angry Birds, released on March 31st of 2022, was a remake of the original Angry Birds from 2009. It was released for Apple and Android devices, though this remake wouldn't last long, as in February of 2023, this game would be delisted off of the Google Play Store, and on the App Store, it would be renamed to Red's First Flight, but I'll get to that later on to the video. Now, let us actually begin. So, where does the story of RCAB start? If we're gonna be realistic, the story of RCAB would start in 2019, with the removal of the old Angry Birds games. I'll give a short recap. In 2019, Rovio, without any reason at the time, removed every Angry Birds title up until 2015. Fans were confused and, of course, angry as to why Rovio would do such a thing. Nobody really knew. The only slight hint that they gave is when they replied to a comment stating that the apps were removed for test purposes, though they wouldn't specify exactly what they meant by that. And thus, this was the rise of hashtag BringBack2012. BringBack2012 was a hashtag created and made popular by YouTuber Maximus Overdrive. For 2 years, fans would use this hashtag to make Rovio do one thing: bring back old games. Whether or not you support the hashtag, you cannot deny that this thing was impactful in pretty much every way. On June 22nd of 2021, Rovio would make a post directed at the fans. In this letter, they would address the reason why they removed the old games. According to Rovio, the old games were removed because since they were made with older technology, Rovio couldn't manage updating them. If only they told the fans sooner. I'm not sure if this statement was genuine or if it was some kind of excuse to justify their actions, but I'll let you guys decide for yourselves. Anyways, Rovio had revealed that they would be working on bringing back the classic Angry Birds experience. They would give updates regarding the remake throughout the remainder of 2021 and 2022, up until RCAB was released. When RCAB first released, initially the game was received with somewhat positive reception, though later on, fans will begin to notice the certain problems within the game. One of the biggest major complaints about RCAB is with the insane amount of bugs that the game came with at launch. I mean, somebody made an entire video about all the bugs that RCAB had. With all these bugs that were discovered, this gave the implication that the game was probably rushed to be finished. Kinda like a FNAF security breach scenario, if you know what I mean. Reckon most of these bugs would eventually be fixed, however, some would still remain in the game, and those bugs certainly will not be fixed now because RCAB is now discontinued. However, there were still fans that enjoyed it, some fans that thought it was okay but not great, and others who thought that the game was absolutely abysmal. With all that being said, let us now move on to the main reason why I want to make this video in the first place: the unlisting of RCAB. On February 23rd, 2023, Rovio delisted RCAB off the Google Play Store. For the second time, Rovio removed the classic games. Most fans were shocked and disappointed by the sudden news. The game didn't even last a full year with updates. This situation sounds oddly familiar, as there is another franchise that's currently going through a similar hell. Now, let's talk about it. Why was RCAB removed? Before we talk about the reason, I want to debunk a few reasons as to why the game was removed. RCAB was removed because the game was not performing well. This was something I brought up in this video when I first made a video basically talking about the news and stuff.
But why would they unlist this game? As mentioned in a tweet from Rovio, the game wasn't performing well for them,
and that's what I stated. The game wasn't doing well, but I could not be more wrong. Despite the fact that the game had little to no marketing, fans still played it, and it was doing very well. But a little too well for Rovio. RCAB was removed because fans hated the way it looked. I heard of this one. While fans have expressed their problems they have with the game, it wasn't the sole reason why the game was removed. If that were the case, then Rovio would have mentioned something about feedback in their original post, or Buck would have mentioned it. But since they don't say anything about fans hating the game so much that they had to pull it from shelves, now that I think about it, if that were really true, RCAB would have a much shorter lifespan. The real reason why RCAB was delisted off the Google Play Store was because Rovio said it had a negative impact on their newer games. So RCAB was outperforming their cheaper and crappier games. That was the most Rovio thing they did since 2019. While RCAB on Android ended in tragedy, on iOS it was a different story. Rovio stated that on the App Store, RCAB would be renamed to Red's First Flight. Why would Rovio change the name of RCAB? To anyone that's familiar with modern Rovio, the answer should be obvious, but to those that don't understand, Rovio changed the name of the game so that it would appear lower on search results for Angry Birds. Of course they would do such a thing like that. Rovio Classics Angry Birds. It had potential. While it was never up to the same level of scale as Angry Birds Classic, I still believe the game was still good for what it was. And had Rovio actually cared about RCAB and how they put more effort into the game, it's likely the game would have never been discontinued. But that's just me. If you made it far into this video, I thank you. Also, tell me what you think about RCAB in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. And if you want to see more videos, please subscribe and turn on notifications so that you'll never miss a new video. A bunch of you that watch my content are not subscribed anyway, so that would really help. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves, please. Alright, that's all. Goodbye, folks.